Hello and welcome back to the Old Soul Millennial channel. In today's video I'd like to teach you how to start an Ariens Snowblower, and after I teach you how to start it, I'm going to show you the basic operational controls. Now we're a little bit spoiled with these modern snowblowers because this one is not only equipped with your standard pull cord, but it's also equipped with a 110 electric start feature. So if you want, you can get an extension cord and use an extension cord to start the unit. In today's video I'm going to use the extension cord, but first things first, there's some important things you got to check first. Check your oil, make sure it's in between the two sight lines. Also ensure that you have good, clean fuel. If you have dirty old fuel, your machine's not going to run right. So now that we've covered that, let's go over the basic operating controls on the engine. Alright, so first thing we need to do is turn the fuel on. If you are putting your unit away at the end of the season, instead of shutting it off with the key, I'd recommend turning the fuel shut off to off and letting the carburetor run dry. That way you don't have any old fuel sitting inside your carburetor. So again, first thing, turn the fuel on. Next thing we want to do is turn the key to the on position. This is off. That is on. The next thing we're going to want to do is go down to this prime ball. We're going to want to push this in maybe 6 times. And this is just priming fuel to the carburetor. Alright, so now we need to talk about this dual control knob here. So this control knob controls 2 functions. One, the gray left side of this control knob controls the throttle. This is high throttle, this is low throttle. And then the red part of this control knob controls the choke. So if it's a cold day out, you're going to want to have this engine on full choke. So to set this on full choke, you're going to want to turn this lever all the way to the right to start. And now as the engine warms up, your goal is to eventually turn the choke off. So you can slowly half choke this. There's a couple different half choke positions, but eventually once the machine warms up, you want this to be in the run position, which the run position is facing towards the front of the snowblower housing. So if you find that the machine starts to die off a little bit as you turn this knob forward, you may have to half choke it, let the engine warm up a little bit more, and then eventually, again, the goal is to turn the choke completely off and set it to run. Now, what do you set your throttle at when you're starting the machine? My method is I like to go all the way down to idle, and then I like to come up just a little bit. So because it's somewhat cold out, I'm not going to run full choke. We're going to go up on kind of like a partial choke. And now we can go to the other side of the machine. I'll show you where to plug in the extension cord and what to do next. So here's the location where the extension cord will plug into the electric starter. So that is good to go. Now what you do from here is you push this red button for no more than 5 seconds at a time, and if the machine doesn't start, let this cool down for 5 seconds, then you can give it another try 5 seconds later. But repeat that no more than 10 times according to the instruction manual here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push down this red button, and I'm going to watch this choke lever. And again, my goal is going to be to turn this choke off, or turn the choke to run. So now I'm going to push this start button, and you can watch my other hand slowly work the choke lever to run. Turn the idle down, and we're in full run. Now I turn the machine off just so you can hear me talk, but it's important that after you start the machine, set it to an idle and let it warm up, especially if it's really cold out. Let it warm up for about a minute or so. After it warms up for a minute or so, then you can start turning the throttle up and then you can go to work. So now let me show you how the controls basically work. Now let's do a quick rundown of the controls of this machine. So in order to adjust where the snow is being thrown, there's a little crank handle on the front of the machine, so you want it to go left, crank to the left, vice versa. If you want to adjust how high or low that snow is being shot out of the chute, that would be controlled with this lever towards the middle of the control panel. So what you would do if you want to aim the snow down, take this handle, slide it to the left, forward. That'll lock it in at a downward angle, and then vice versa. If you want it to shoot higher, to the left, down, lock that handle back in, and then you have a couple adjustments in between. So if you want the auger to turn on, which the auger is inside the auger housing, and then that also shoots the snow up out of the chute here, in order to turn that on, simply hold down the auger lever. Now, if you want the machine to drive while you have the auger on, what you need to do is select a gear, So we have 6 forward gears, 2 reverse gears. So say I wanted to go forward right now. Just starting out, I'd probably select gear 1 or 2, just so you get the hang of things. And then you're going to want to simultaneously, while you have the auger clutch handle held down, squeeze down slowly this drive clutch handle. And what that's going to do is it's going to start to move. It's going to engage the drive wheel, and the machine's going to move forward. So you're going to have your auger on, and the machine's going to be moving forward. Now what's nice is as long as you're holding down the auger handle first, and then you hold down the drive handle, if you let go of the auger handle, that will actually stay down as long as you're holding pressure down on the drive handle. And that's really great because that allows you to adjust the chute on the fly, your angle. The only thing you can't adjust is the gear. In order to adjust your gear, you're going to have to stop the machine and adjust the gear and then repeat the process. Now look at what happens when I release the drive handle. The auger handle will automatically unlatch. So the machine's going to stop and the auger is going to stop spinning. And then if you want to just drive the machine forward, all you have to do is pick a gear and slowly squeeze down your drive handle, and the machine will drive forward or backwards depending on what gear you have selected. That's a really handy feature, right? Because if you're in between 2 cars, you don't want to shoot the snow, you can actually kind of use this like a snow plow. So don't hold down the auger, just squeeze down the drive handle, let the machine push the snow forward. Then once you clear the cars or obstruction, then you can squeeze down on the auger handle, and then you can blow the snow where you need to blow. So that's just kind of like a quick rundown of the controls. Some final quick safety information. If you ever find that you have a jam inside the auger housing, shut the machine down. Never reach your hands or anything in there with the machine running. But after the machine is shut down, there's this handy tool on top of the auger housing, and then you can take this with the machine shut down, get in here and carefully clear out whatever the obstruction was. Also, something very important to note is this machine does have shear bolts. There's a shear bolt here and a shear bolt here. So if you find that half of your auger isn't spinning, perhaps you hit a rock or something that caused that shear bolt to shear. So what you want to do is shut down the machine, and on top of the auger chute there are 2 replacement shear bolts on top of the machine. And from there you can just replace those bolts and you'll be back in business. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more.